One thing I love about niche teams is their ability to go in weird and unique directions. Maybe you're a gunslinging zombie that makes quick one-liners, or fight bugs on a hostile planet armed only with a mech in anime dreams. In the case of Calamity Angels Special Delivery, it's a normal dude who wants to be a successful courier with a ragtag bunch of misfits. Beyond the simple premise is an adventure featuring charming characters fighting against cute monsters. But with so many contrasting elements, is it another hit or should you return to sender?
普通の人間では、おいそれと街の外には出られない。そのため、危険に立ち向かうための力を持つ配達員が存在する。彼らは街の外へ出て、物、人、情報など様々なものを届ける重要な役割を担う。これは命をかけて人々の思いを届ける配達員たちの物語なのである。
Calamity Angels follows Neptunia's story archetype, where there is a central narrative along with a wide variety of side stories. In the main narrative's case, it's about establishing your company and dealing with bandits that want to steal important artifacts. However, most of the narrative is centered around the characters. The gimmick here is each character is designed around an archetype with a contrasting personality. There is a cowardly knight, sleepy warrior, unreliable healer, mage that prefers physical attacks, and you get the idea. For the most part, I think these interactions are a lot of fun. It makes these characters stand out, along with adding a lot of potential humorous interactions. Every companion also receives a couple side stories. These range from explaining how their quirks came into play to introducing new things to joke about. The only real downside is the story places more importance on jokes than actually dealing with the main threat. That isn't to say the story is bad, just forgettable. Something that is also somewhat true for gameplay.
癖の強い仲間たちだな。いや、でもまずはチームとしての第一歩を踏み出せたんだ。これからも頑張っていこう。どうした？お宝でも見つけた？お宝やなくてモンスターが出よった。うおー！本当だ。
While Idea Factory considers this a delivery service RPG, it honestly plays like a visual novel with a board game twist. And I know that makes absolutely no sense, but it honestly sums up the experience quite well. Anyway, missions begin with accepting deliveries. These are a brief section where space is made in the bag, followed by departing to the target location. After entering the location, movement is decided by spinning a wheel. Whatever number it lands on determines how far you can move on this turn. That said, it's a lot more complicated than it seems. There are lucky spins that change how you interact with the board, items that influence said spins, along with every space doing something. Maybe it's a buff, sometimes there's gold, some give you optional events, you get the idea. What makes this annoying is the movement itself. Certain spaces are annoying to select, coupled with choices locking in the second the final space is selected. One nice thing is the exact role is not required to visit certain locations, though this can also be somewhat annoying as story levels have multiple hard stops for narrative. Occasionally battles will take place. These happen on specific spaces, through optional events, roaming enemies, or the narrative.
気ぃつけて進もうな。足に水が浸水。あちゃー。ほな行くで。
At first glance, combat looks like any other RPG. There are various attacks, the ability to defend, items can be used, plus staples like the ability to flee. However, it plays like a visual novel, as fights can be rather unpredictable. Sometimes I load in, only for a teammate to do an attack eliminating every threat. Other times, it can be an uphill battle to do literally anything. Characters will disobey orders they don't like or just react to the situation. Personally, I think this is the type of system where less is more. I can laugh at the knights starting to attack only to decline once they realize it's a frog. One of my favorite rare events is the healer ditching a party because she thinks treasure is nearby. It's honestly so charming, especially since she leaves behind a doll of herself. It wears thin when nothing works in your favor. Okay, my healer is looking for treasure, my knight just refuses to attack for 4 turns, and now my warrior is asleep? It gets grating, something that is furthered by the sheer number of attacks that miss. I swear, a large number like 40% of attacks miss. I've seriously never seen a less reliable combat system, which, to be honest, I don't want every fight to take 7 turns to deal with because of this nonsense. That's kind of the thing, these optional events can be fun. Honestly, I love that treasure drag. What I don't love is the fact I've seen it 20 or so times and never once has she found treasure. Look, it just wears thin. Something furthered by a lot of the game being designed around weird elements. Like, there isn't even a traditional level system. Instead, level is based off team rank, which is ultimately limited by story progression. It makes it so there isn't much in terms of tactics. I can't grind for additional levels, loot is hard capped to this section, even the bag limits the number of items I can bring to aid me on a delivery. All of this results in a rather frustrating experience. Yeah, it has a lot of charm, but that can only take the experience so far. It also kind of sucks characters seem to have items related to their quirks, partially because it's hard to quantify what 4D sleep actually does and the fact it essentially further limits options.
頑張れセルマ、負けるなセルマ。何も起きないといいけど。ビビッときたね。あかんて。無理。頑張れセルマ、負けるなセルマ。
I know this is a rather short review, but this is a really straightforward experience. Either you spin wheels hoping for the best, or fight enemies hoping for the best. I also don't think it's a terrible experience. There's really a lot of charm, to the point where I was excited anytime I saw a new event happen. It just isn't fun when that side of things dominates the entire experience. I mean, I beat Neo 3 a few weeks ago, and just beat the new God of War on the highest difficulty, yet this game frustrated me more than either. But I digress. Ultimately, it's the type of experience that will likely resonate with people who love the kooky vibe. Hey, thanks for watching. If you found this helpful, don't forget to leave a like, and for more content, please subscribe.